All right, let's dive into something that's got the entire tech world buzzing. We're talking about a huge paradox. How can the market for developers be collapsing and booming at the exact same time? We're going to break down what we're calling the Great Developer Divide. So let's just cut to the chase. The question on everyone's mind, the one causing all this anxiety and, let's be honest, a lot of late-night doom scrolling, is coding dead? I mean, on one hand, you can see why people are scared. The fear is absolutely real. We've seen a staggering 25% collapse in programming jobs from their peak just a couple of years ago. That's not just a dip, that's the worst downturn in the industry's modern history. But then you flip the coin, and the US government is out here projecting a massive 17% growth for software jobs this decade. So, what gives? How can both of these things be true? Are jobs just vanishing, or are they booming? It feels like we're being told two completely different stories. Okay, so what's really going on? Well, when you dig into the data, the story gets really fascinating. See, this isn't some industry-wide apocalypse. Nope. It's more like a targeted strike. It's hitting the younger, entry-level developers the hardest, while those senior roles, they're staying pretty much rock solid. This isn't random. It's something called bifurcation. The market is literally splitting in two right before our eyes. And the key to wrapping your head around this whole contradiction is to realize this. We're not watching an extinction event. What we're watching is a rapid, and for a lot of people, a pretty brutal evolution of what it even means to be a developer anymore. And this right here, this perfectly illustrates what AI is actually doing. It isn't replacing developers, not really. It's replacing what you could call the typing layer. You know, all that repetitive syntax, the boilerplate code, the basic stuff. But what it absolutely can't touch is human judgment. The big picture stuff, designing system architecture, translating messy business logic into clean code, or making those critical trade-off decisions that define a project. Yeah, this quote just nails it. AI is an incredibly powerful tool for execution, but it has no intent. Think of it like this. It can put a puzzle piece in the right spot flawlessly, but it has no idea what the picture on the box is supposed to look like. And all of this leads us right to the new developer divide. We're seeing two very, very different career paths emerge. One is basically being automated out of existence, while the other is being amplified like never before. This chart breaks it down perfectly. You've got the syntax worker on one side. This is the person who follows tutorials, copies and pastes patterns, and really needs step-by-step instructions. They're in direct competition with AI. But then you have the system thinker. This person designs architecture, understands the whole system, and owns the decision-making. They don't compete with AI. They use it as leverage. And that's exactly why their value is just soaring. I love this quote because it just cuts right to the heart of the matter. AI did not delete developers. It deleted mediocrity. It didn't make good developers obsolete. It just raised the price of admission for everyone. It's forcing a massive skill shift away from the basic stuff that can now be done by a machine. And you can see this shift hitting the bank accounts too. Look at the salaries. The market isn't just looking for people who can write code anymore. It's putting a huge premium on AI-fluent engineers, the ones who can orchestrate these new tools and make them sing. The market is literally repricing what intelligence is worth. Okay, so let's get practical. What does all of this actually mean for you? If you're a developer or you're trying to become one, what's the game plan? How do you make sure you're thriving in this new world and not just, surviving? First off, let's get a little perspective because this has happened before. I mean, this isn't the first time a new technology completely shook up a field. When calculators showed up, they didn't get rid of mathematicians. Spreadsheets didn't get rid of accountants. In every single case, the low-skill, repetitive tasks got compressed, and the high-skill opportunities just exploded. AI is just the latest and fastest chapter in that same old story. So how do you make sure you're on the right side of this shift? Well, this playbook right here is your guide. First, you've got to master systems, not just syntax. Think architecture, scaling, design thinking. Second, you have to start using AI every single day. Treat it like a superpower, a force multiplier. Your job is to direct AI, not compete with it. Third, learn how to frame problems like a business leader. Companies don't pay for code, they pay for solved problems. And finally, go build real stuff. A portfolio of actual complex projects is worth so much more than a stack of certificates. All right, let's boil this all down to the final verdict. As you can see here, the mechanical, repetitive part of coding, what we've been calling typing, it's dying. But the strategic, problem-solving, creative part of the job, the thinking, that's not just surviving, it's absolutely thriving. It's becoming more valuable than it has ever been. And because of this massive shift, just knowing the basics isn't going to cut it anymore. That middle ground, the career path for the average developer, it's collapsing. But for those who lean in, for those who embrace systems thinking and learn how to leverage AI, for them, the opportunities to build, to create, to innovate, they are accelerating faster than we've ever seen. So when you step back and look at the big picture, AI hasn't killed programming at all, not even close. What it's done is strip away all the noise. It has exposed what was always the most valuable part of engineering, our own human ingenuity and strategic thinking. This is the new reality, folks. And if anything we've talked about today has changed how you see the future of tech, you should probably subscribe. Because the next decade isn't going to belong to the people with the most experience in the old way of doing things. It's going to belong to those who adapt to this new reality first. And that leaves us with one final, pretty crucial question. A question for you to really think about. As you look at this new landscape taking shape, are you upgrading your skills for what's coming next? Or are you just kind of hoping things go back to normal? The choice and the opportunity that comes with it is all yours.